Hello students, here I am Sabina Yasmin from Genesis Coaching Institute. Here I will be taking a class on botany subject, that is bryophytes. It is very interesting, little bit different whatever we have studied in algae. Last class we studied about algae. Okay, we are studying about plant kingdom. Dear, what you got? First one in plant kingdom you got about algae. Algae means Thallophyta. Okay, so today little bit advanced than algae, so we'll discuss about bryophytes. At first we'll discuss about general characteristics, okay, reproduction, the classification, and the last one we'll discuss about economic importance. Okay, so hope you'll understand it and you will enjoy it. Okay, so let's start the class. At first, the general characteristics of bryophyte. What are the general characters? General characters. Okay, as in algae, the whole plant body is very simple, thallus-like. That is why it was called as Thallophyta. I hope you can remember, all of you. It was called as Thallophyta. This was algae. Why? Whole the body was thallus-like, thalloid. Clear? Now here in bryophyte, little bit advanced. Okay, so starting from this plant body, the plant body is gametophyte. Gametophytic means what? The plant body shows gametophytic generation. What is the meaning of gametophytic? They bear gametes. Okay, male gamete or female gamete, from which help them in reproduction. Clear? So what? This is the whole plant is a gametophytic. It shows it bears the gametophytic generation. Next one, number 2, that is what? It is non-vascular plant. Why it is non-vascular? Why I am saying it non-vascular? Because here, as it is like algae, here also what is absent? Xylem. Xylem and phloem is absent. Absent means what? The vascular bundles are absent. That is why I am saying it has non-vascular plant. Clear? And the most interesting and most important feature of bryophyte is that in plant world, bryophyte is called as what you know, that is amphibian. In junior classes you got about what frog is called as amphibian. Why it is called as frog as amphibian? Because what? Frog can live in water and land also. Same thing like here also, in bryophyte also how it is, they live both. In water also they require both things, water and soil, land, both. Why? Because during the time of reproduction, they need what? They need water. Otherwise what? Whole time they live on the land, near water. Okay, because what? During reproduction, the antherozoids, the male gametes, needs water to swim to reach the female gamete. Clear? Next one, what? The plant body. If we will talk about the plant body, they don't bear any leaf, they don't have any proper stem, they don't have any proper branch, any proper root. But instead of root, what? Rhizoids are there. Rhizoids are what? They are hair-like structure which present in place of roots. This hair-like structure, these are called rhizoids. Okay, now I was in reproduction. In the reproduction, what they do? Reproduction, they will fuse the antherozoids and the egg. In the archegonium it is produced. We'll discuss later. So dear, what? When reproduction will happen, let me tell you what they are. In reproduction, the male gamete is formed in male reproductive structure. That is called what? Male reproductive structure is called antheridium. Okay, and female reproductive structure is called as archegonium. Archegonium. Okay. So this antheridium will produce what? Antherozoids. 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 Antherozoids means what? The male gamete. Clear? Next, archegonium will produce what? Egg. And when they will fuse, you know, that is called what? Fertilization. Okay. So after fertilization, what will produce? They will produce zygote. Okay, which is a sporophytic. This is the starting of sporophytic generation. Okay, so antherozoids is n number of, again egg is n number, and the zygote is twice n. This zygote will start the sporophytic generation, and that is called sporophyte. Sporophyte. Okay, this sporophyte, this structure, this sporophyte is not independent structure. It is dependent on the gametophyte, because the gametophyte is the gametophytic plant body is the major structure, major part of their life cycle. So what? This sporophyte, the dependent on the gametophyte, they live as a parasite. Okay, and when this sporophyte will be mature, then what? They will form spores. Understood? They will form spores, and when the spores will germinate, they will start again forming the gametophytic generation. Clear? Okay, going to the next one. So students, once again we'll just recapitulate whatever we have discussed, the general characteristic feature. Okay, the first general characteristic feature was what? The plant body shows what? Gametophytic generation. It is a gametophyte. Why it is called gametophyte? Because it bears gamete. Gamete means sex cells. Clear? So what? The plant body is showing, is resemble what? Gametophytic generation. Next one, the plant body is non-vascular plant. Means what? They don't have xylem and phloem. We discussed it. Next one, what did I say? It is called amphibian. Why it is called amphibian? It lives on land also, water also. Why? It is dependent on water for reproduction. One thing I forgot there, reproduction may be asexual and sexual also. Asexual how? Asexual by means of fragmentation and gamma cup. We will discuss in the classification one. Okay, gamma cup, one structure. I will show you. Next one, sexual reproduction by the production of different type of reproductive structure. The male reproductive structure is called antheridium. Antheridium. Clear? An antheridium that give rise to antherozoids, which is male gamete, male sex cell. Again, female reproductive structure give rise to, the female reproductive structure is called archegonium. You have to learn the spelling. Archegonium. And archegonium give what? Egg. Both are haploid. Haploid means n number of chromosome, and when they will fuse, fertilization will occur, zygote will develop, and zygote is the first sporophytic generation. It will start the sporophytic generation. Clear? Means what? Diploid generation. Understood? Sporophyte means what? A structure. A structure which will bear later the spores. A structure, and this sporophyte is always dependent on the gametophytic generation and the gametophytic plant body. And when it will mature, it will give rise to the spores. Spores will germinate. Germinate means what? They will germinate. Reduction division will occur. Meiosis will occur. Meiosis will occur to the spores, and after meiosis, they will give rise to a gametophytic plant body. These were the general characteristic feature. Okay. Now we'll come to the classification of bryophytes. What are the different classes of bryophytes? So, classification of bryophytes. Okay, so classification will start from the simpler one to little bit advanced side. There are three types of bryophytes. In your book, an NCERT book, it is only given as liverwort and mosses. These are the common term. Okay, but here we will study the biological terms, that is number 1, Paticopsida, number 2, Antherocida, and number 3 is Bryopsida. So these three are the different classes, different types of bryophytes. Starting from the, as I said, starting from the simpler one towards the advancement, that is Bryopsida is the most advanced type of algae. So starting from Heterocopsida, what is Heterocopsida? They are, the common name of Heterocopsida is what? Liverwort. Liverwort. Okay, liverwort. In your book, what is given? Examples are given as Markensia. Okay, so liverwort. Why they are called liverwort? Because their lobe-like structures are there. Lobe-like structure. These type of structures are the characteristic feature of liverwort, Hepaticopsida. Clear? This Hepaticopsida, what is the characteristic feature? What is the specific feature? They are having lobe-like structure. They don't have leaf-like structures are present, and it may be thallus, foliage or unicellular. Rhizoids is what? These rhizoid, the root-like structures are what? They are unicellular. Unicellular. In the general characteristic feature, I said that these are rhizoids, not root. We will not say it as root. What we call? We will call it as rhizoids. Rhizoids. No need to repeat it as we have discussed in general characteristic feature. Okay, these are unicellular, not multicellular. In case of where? In Hepaticopsida. Clear? In Hepaticopsida, what? The rhizoids are unicellular. And what? These are lobe-like structure. Here, what are present? Here, some pen-like structures are present, and what is there? They will produce some structure called gamma cup. Gamma cup. The structure is called gamma cup, and the phenomena is called gamma. When they will detach from the parent plant and fall on the land or soil, they will give rise to a new Hepaticopsida, new Markensia. This is what? Markensia. Example of Hepaticopsida, that is Markensia. And always remember, whenever you are writing the biological name, scientific name, always underline, you know that I know. Next one, Markensia, you will see the gamma cup. What are gamma cup? They are specific structure of asexual reproduction. Clear? Asexual reproduction. So they reproduce through gamma cup also, again by sexual reproduction also. Again sexual reproduction how? The antherizoids, the male sex organ will give rise to antherizoids. The female sex organ, archegonium, will give rise to eggs. They will fuse, and what? Whenever antherizoids, and as I said before, antherizoids fuse the egg, what they will produce? The zygote, and which is called as sporophyte according to our language. So sporophyte, this is n number haploid, this is haploid, and the sporophyte is diploid. After this one, then what will happen? After this, after when sporophyte will form, when the sporophyte will be mature, meiosis, reduction division will occur, okay, which will give rise to spores. These spores will germinate, this spore will germinate, give rise to, when after meiosis they will germinate and give rise to gametophytic plant body. Clear? So again the same cycle will start. This is about Hepaticopsida. Now we will start about Antheropsida. So now students, welcome back. So next one will start about Anthoceropsida, the next number 2 class. Okay, same as it is. The sexual organs are present in the dorsiventral side of the gametophytic plant body. Okay, next again it is thalloid. The rhizoids are unicellular rhizoids are there as it is. Okay, and unicellular rhizoids. Okay, and what? Here one special characteristic. Here it is called hornwort. Okay, the common name is what? Hornwort. Hornwort. In case of Hepaticopsida, you got what was the common name? That is what? That was what? Liverwort. Okay, here hornwort. Why you know? The gametophyte is okay, but the sporophyte, no, sporophyte horn-like structure you will find in the sporophyte. That is what is horn-like structure you will find. Okay, and the sporophyte is how you know the inside one is made up of meristematic tissue, and the sporophyte as it is what it is differentiate into, sporophyte is differentiate into foot, seta and capsule. What is foot, seta and capsule? Foot means the part which the sporophyte is engaged in the gametophytic plant body. Okay, next seta is, suppose this portion is attached to the gametophytic plant body, so this one will be called as foot, this one will be called as seta, and here the rayleigh structure, this one will be called as capsule. Capsule generally this type of structure in case of someone, then what will happen when it will be matured, it will, the essence will be occur, and this way the spores will come out. Clear? Now the last one we'll discuss about bryopsida. Okay, this is this one in bryopsida little bit importance is there. I'll discuss here bryopsida, the third number, bryopsida, the third number. Okay, here little bit more advanced character will get. Number one, and first of all, what is the common name of bryopsida? Common name is mosses. Common name of bryopsida is mosses. They are advanced. Leaf-like structure will get in bryopsida. Two types of the gametophytic plant body is two types. One is primary protonema and second one is secondary protonema. Okay, and secondary protonema. Secondary protonema. So gametophytic plant body, it has two phases in their life cycle. One is primary protonema, and the second one is secondary protonema. In the secondary protonema, you will see what? Leaf-like structures. Again, sex organs, you know that antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium will give rise to antherozoids, archegonium will give rise to eggs, and that will develop the zygote, which will give rise to sporophyte. The sporophyte will be differentiated into again what? Foot, sporophyte differentiate into what? Foot, seta and capsule. Okay, from capsule the spores will come out. When they are mature, they will germinate. After reduction division, they will give rise to gametophyte plant body. Okay, this is all about bryopsida. Clear? Now we'll discuss little bit about the economic importance of bryophyte. Okay, so I hope all of you understood what the bryophytes are. What three main types of bryophytes are there? Common term we say it as liverwort, hornwort and what? Mosses. Mosses is the most advanced. Okay, so what? These three types little bit advanced. One is the mosses, that is bryopsida. Clear? Now I'll draw the life cycle of the bryophytes. Just see. Okay. Then after we'll discuss about the economic importance. Clear? So at first the bryophyte is what? Gametophytic plant body. Gametophyte. It is n number. It will give rise to what you know? Antheridium, which is male sex organ. Okay, and archegonium. Acha, I'll use different color. Okay, then it will be easier for you to recognize. Antheridium. Okay, so this one is male, this one is female. This antheridium will give rise to what you know? Antherozoids. Okay, and this archegonium will give rise to egg. They will, what they will do? They will fuse. This is called what? Fertilization. After fertilization, what they will produce? Zygote. They will produce what? Zygote. Some other color. They will produce zygote, which give rise to, this is twice and diploid generation, which will give rise to sporophyte. Sporophyte. Okay, which is twice n. Okay, and after the reduction divisions, they will give rise to what? They will give rise to what? Gametophyte. So here two phases, two types of life cycle is there. One is what? One is gametophytic generation, and the one is sporophytic generation. This is gametophytic generation, and this is what? Sporophytic generation. Sporophytic generation. Or what in your Neet exam you will get question, what is the haplontic life and what is diplontic life. This is the haplontic phase, this is the diplontic. Diplontic means what? Twice m. Okay, and haplontic means what? Haplontic, this is haplontic one. Haplontic means n number, haploid generation. Okay, so two types of generation. This is the life cycle of bryophyte. Life cycle of bryophyte. Okay, so students, you have understood? I think you understood. This is the life cycle of bryophyte. It's very important. You have to understand what is sporophytic generation, what is gametophytic generation. Sporophytic generation is also called as haplontic life cycle, and gametophytic generation is also called as haplontic cycle, haplontic phases of life cycle, and the sporophytic generation is also called as diplontic phase of life cycle. Diplontic means diploid, twice n number. Haplontic means n number. Clear? So what? In haplontic one, all the gametophytic generation you will get, and in diplontic one, the sporophytic generation you will get. Sporophyte is what? From zygote formation to the spore formation. The up to there, the sporophytic generation is there. Clear? So next we will start about the little bit we will discuss about economic importance. Economic importance of bryophyte. Economic importance of bryophyte. Bryophyte is having economic importance. Number one is what? This is a source of food. Okay, this is a source of food for herbivorous organisms, herbivorous animals. This is the source of food. Number two is what? Fuel. We use it as fuel. Fuel means pit, coal. Okay, fuel. Here, which one? Bryophyte, you know? Sphagnum. Sphagnum is an example of bryophyte which is used as fuel. Okay, the next one, used in transshipment because of what? Because of water holding capacity. And one is very important word. This is the pioneer of growing plant. Okay, these are some of economic importance, and sphagnum is also used in other purposes also. Okay, they decompose. Another one is they decompose rocks, decompose and the surface of the rocks and make it suitable for growing other plants. Okay, these are some of the economic importance of bryophytes. This is the class. I am going to conclude. I hope all of you like and you will try to understand. Okay, go through it. So thank you for today. Take care.